Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here with our 5th development update for Strange Creatures. Let me get the thing here. So I'm joined by 2 new people today who have not been on stream. I've got Rewant and Jim. So first, I want them to introduce themselves and kind of what do you guys do on the project and what's your background?
Hello, my name is Reuben Norma. I'm a game designer on the team. Kind of juggling between a little bit of production and stuff. My main stuff that I do on the team is I sit with the rest of with Jim as well, the other designer, and we think about ideas for our characters. We brainstorm with the rest of the team, some mechanics of the game, some of the puzzle design, stuff like that, interaction between our characters, and all those cool things.
Cool.
And hi, I'm Jim Chen, and I am the designer for the team too, and I work on the character mechanics, and currently I'm working on the levels and puzzles for our levels, and I'm also one of the 2 technical artists on the team, so in the coming iterations I will be working on some visual effects too.
Very nice. Okay, so hey, look at that. We also have 2 people in chat so far chatting. We've got Checkpoint Professor, and that's Gabe. And then Pixel Superhero, which is Danny, who's one of our artists. So the first thing we want to do is we actually have a new level to show off. I have not even seen this yet. That's the wrong folder. So this is something that Jim has been working with one of our engineers, by Reeve, to get rolling. So right now they're going to play. Let's turn this down a teeny bit. And Jim, when you get to the new kind of stuff, you want to talk about your ideas and your design and why you're doing it this way. Yeah, spoiler alert.
What are you playing?
I'll play Turtle.
Okay, I'll play Climb. I'll be the T-Pop.
Oh, and we've got Caitlin, one of our other artists, with Danny. So, as you guys can see, it's been a bit since we've showed you our gym. And as you can see, our gym has gotten a lot bigger. We've got a lot more things to play around with, new stuff in here, new interactions, how things work. And we're actually really, really excited about some of the stuff they've been working on. So if you look on the right-hand side of the screen with Jim playing the turtle, he's going into this new level area, and Jim, is this one of our small, medium, or large rooms?
This one is a large one.
Cool. So what Jim has done with our design is we're breaking up our puzzle rooms into 3 categories: small, medium, and large. Small rooms, like As the Eagle Fly, if you know what you're doing, we're shooting for about 3 minutes of gameplay, trying to get it from start to finish. Medium is 5 and large is 7, correct? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So this level is one that Jim's been working on that's large. This is supposed to take about 7 minutes. If you know what you're doing, but also a part of our game is the fun of exploring around and figuring out what to do and having fun with the players playing with you.
Yeah, so this one is actually a cargo bay. So we are designing the whole map as like a factory. So this one is a cargo bay that mostly about packing the cargoes and shipping it out to off the factory. So this one is a big room, and as you can see, it's very tall, and it's also kind of big for even human size.
Mm-hmm. So, are you playing hide and seek right
now?
So here's the entrance, and we can see a conveyor belt, and this one has infinite boxes coming in.
Mm-hmm. So infinite chaos.
Yeah.
Yep, infinite chaos.
Well, we will figure out a way of limiting the max boxes in the room, but right now we don't have a limit. So following the box here, here's a loading platform that once it has enough boxes on it, it will rises and load the boxes into basically a train. So if you stand on it,
hey, give me 2.
The camera is a little bit off, but we will fix that.
Yep.
It's in plan. So if we follow the platform, it will load us on the train, and we can jump off, or we can jump off with the box, carry a box with us. So here's a weight puzzle. It's not working perfectly, but we are fixing it too. So the idea is, if we have enough weight on this side, that side will raise, and we can see a green box there. And
battery.
I can just yoinky.
Yeah, you can do it right now, but in the future you cannot.
That's true.
Because the box should weigh heavier than your ability to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So the idea is to get enough boxes to load on the left side of the weight puzzle, and you get the box raised so that you can carry it and put it. So you can see. Oh, Reuben, can you go there? go to the box?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you can see there's a place for you to place the battery, and once you put it down, the door on your left will open, so you will finish the level.
Nice.
So the idea is the whole cargo bay is what we call a puzzle unit.
Mhm.
So this one is basically a big puzzle that is made up with a few small puzzles. So we can have like a unit to calculate how long like an average player will take to finish a level, and
Yeah.
we will have that for reference, and we can plan our rest of the map a little bit easier.
Very, very nice. So some things that actually I haven't seen that I'm actually really, really intrigued by is this like pick up move little thing. Because one thing that we've tried to do with the design of this game is we don't want the like solutions to the puzzle pieces to be overly complex, right? And so one thing I'm really liking about this is the puzzle itself is actually solving the next step for you as you're waiting. So if you're observing the game, you can kind of figure out ooh, you were stuck. You kind of figure out what to do next, which I actually am really a big fan of. Also, we fixed a lot of our camera issues. Mainly like if Jim, if you want to pick up Rewant and spin, what is going on?
In the wrong direction. Wait.
Interesting.
Well.
Hey, new bugs found every day.
Oh, yeah, I broke the third.
Interesting. Well,
I come out off.
yeah, I think you let go of you and come out weird.
Oh well.
You keep spinning, just keep spinning, yeah.
Well, that's part of the fun.
Right. Well, it's also
I'll
like,
fix you, Jim. I'll fix
how are you gonna
you.
fix him?
I'm just gonna climb up with him,
Oh.
and there he's fixed
Oh, he's
now.
fixed. So yeah, Jim, if you want to grab Rewant really quick,
Yeah.
the last time we showed you this interaction where you grab him and then spin, the camera was not very friendly. But now look at that, the camera is a little bit more friendly. Wait, isn't this supposed to be fixed? Is this supposed to like?
Yeah,
anyway.
it's still in progress.
Oh, okay.
It's a work in progress.
Cool. So yeah, that's kind of like our work in progress of our brand new look. Shout out to engineers for adding the halo so you can see your teammates when you're far away, though. Oh yeah, see
Yep.
through the world. Yeah.
Hey there.
So that's something that's like I'm really excited about is we have these kind of new fun ways to interact with the characters that we found. Speaking of characters, do you guys want to move on and show them our little scout model?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Cool. So, both of our artists have been hard at work getting new models for us to look and play with.
Mm-hmm.
And Caitlin has finished our low poly model for our climber character. So our climber character, her name is Scout.
It was the teapot when I was
Yeah,
playing,
it was the teapot. And now Scout is a fully fleshed out Lecco or lemur gecko. Actually, if you look at our banner up top, you can see kind of the finished concept art for her. We're really excited to play around with Scout and look at this model in game. We just don't have it. We don't have a skeletal mesh for it yet. That's why we haven't put it in. But yes, we've got this brand new Lecco to play with. So we are almost all the way out of placeholder assets for our characters, which is really, really exciting. And what else did we want to show up today?
You can show in the tutorial here.
Yep, so we've also done some iterations on the tutorial level that we showed you guys last week. So let me pull that up really quick. So we fixed some scaling issues, we fixed a few of the puzzle issues. It's still a work in progress, but if you guys want to give it a go and test this out. Ignore the humanoid selection.
You didn't consume cat.
Cool. So we've added some...
Okay, already.
And look at that, new consume sprite to use. That makes more sense with our bullfrog Rosie, which Danny Powers is working on, getting us our model in place.
Wait, is the charge shot ready?
I'm not sure. Is the chart shot ready? Try it out.
Oh.
Try out eating stuff and then holding the button.
Yeah, try eating stuff.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, it might not be in my.
Yeah, I think it's in, but not that obvious.
Okay. So one of our iterations we made on. Whoop! You just. What? What just happened?
It was just an explosive vomit.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
So one iteration we made on our characters is the consume character, last time that we talked about his stuff in depth, was he would eat things, and then if you just hit the trigger, it would just spit out one at a time. But if you held the trigger, it would spit them out in like sets of 3, and the idea was to like rapidly empty the stomach. But we found out that wasn't entirely useful, and it wasn't very fun.
Yep.
And so we iterated, and we changed. And so now what the consume character does is if you hold the trigger, like if you spam the trigger, it will just do a bunch of... I said Rosie. Didn't I say Rosie? I'm so used to calling it the consume character now. I did say she.
Oh my she's Rosie.
So one thing that she used to do is, like I said, she'd spit out like sets of 3, but it wasn't very fun, wasn't very interactive, and so we thought, what can we do different? What can we do different? And one thing that Jim came up with was this idea of a charged shot, of being able to aim the stuff that she is spitting out to launch greater distances and be able to more or less make a precision shot with it, which is what we've been able to do, which we like a lot more. It allows us... I just said him.
Whoa.
That's the consume character.
That is consume. That is Rosie. Rosie crashes our game.
Yes, Rosie crashes the game right now. So Rosie, we've been like she's been iterated on, and she's been a lot of fun to play with. And we like the char shot a lot more than the mass spitting out.
Oh, wait, let me grab you.
You can't grab me.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Oh, you're too heavy?
She's too
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh.
She has like 20 boxes in her stomach right now.
Can I punch you?
Can you punch him? Probably. And
Wait,
by him, I meant
yeah.
Rewant that
Yeah.
time. That was Rewant. I did not mean Rosie. I meant Rewant.
Whoa. You okay?
Wait, I think when you play baseball, like you serve the ball.
Okay, there you go.
Return it.
Mini game acquired.
Oh.
I wonder if Arlo. By the way, the cat's name's Arlo. I wonder if Arlo can. If you do this, can he launch boxes farther than Rosie can spit them?
Oh, let's do that. Let's test it. Just stand inside your cage. Go in your cage. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Rosie, behave.
You stay inside the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shoot a box at you. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, too high. Oh. Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
hit it like all the way till
farther.
the door. Yeah,
Mhm.
and like way farther. And so, where did that go?
You're clipping through the world.
Oh. Wait, how do you charge that again?
Oh, you hold the skill button. And
Yeah. You just hold it for 3 seconds and it
Yeah,
shoots
it's
out.
not-
I don't have anything in.
It's not very obvious, but once you open this door,
You'll be able
try
to.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's as far as the cat can.
Yeah. So, Pixel Superhero brought up a really good point about our characters. I don't know if we have actually told you guys on stream, you guys and gals, what our characters' names are. So we've got Arlo the cat, Arlo the stretchy cat. We've got Ernest the spinning burble. We've got Scout, our Lecco, our climber. And last but certainly not least is Rosie, our consumer, our bullfrog. Very endearing. I love them all very dearly. They're also like one thing I'm really like happy and excited about, especially with what Jim and Rewant have been doing with our character design, and actually what the whole team has been doing, is all the characters feel really, really unique, which has been like a lot of fun to like see them grow. Is like how do all these characters act differently in this world? And honestly, I don't think there's any like we can easily design puzzles that are specific. Like Arlo solves these puzzles better than anyone else, but in the same way, we can make puzzles that like Rosie does significantly better than anyone else. Which I think is like a really compliment to the design of the game. Is that each character feels really unique, which is a lot of fun.
And also to add to that as well, that was possible because of the fact that really early in our design stage, we made sure that we always specified one specific action, and then we tried to wrap around the character and the aesthetic and all that other like high level stuff around that one action.
Yep.
So for example, in the start we had the cat and the turtle, and then for the cat the action was stretch, and for the turtle it was spin. And so we had like these two different things that sounded cool in a way, but then we started to think about, okay, what problems can these actions solve essentially? And so you have this cat that can like bridge gaps. It can like make itself like a bridge where. Let me try and see if I can climb over him. Yeah, so
I think you need to go on the stairs a teeny bit.
Yeah,
To
you need
grab
to time
him.
it right because the stretching only lasts for.
Yep. Well, if you grab onto something, though, you'll stay stretched forever. So if you move a little further, I think you can.
Let's see if we can.
I can see the grabbing.
So when the UI pops up is when you'll be able to grab.
Oh,
There you go. So now you should be able to hold that. And now I think.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We have a person.
There we go.
So if I am at this stage and I hit jump, I actually release my back feet.
And then he
launch-
becomes a slingshot essentially.
Yeah, launch myself. So it's not that powerful slingshot, but it will guarantee you to reach the other end.
Yeah.
And the other, well, for example, for the turtle, we had it spin, and it came about mainly because of the idea that we had these turrets, and it was super cool when you could just go in front of these turrets and just spin, and then like aim at wherever you wanted to, and like break stuff or like hit intractables. It was like this cool concept.
If one of you want to switch to the turtle, you actually there is a turtle. There is a it's the start button.
Yeah.
There actually is a turret in this level.
Oh, there is a turret in there?
So this turret probably won't be there in the final level, but I thought that would be a fun way to show off. Ernest. I have realized that in only one stream have we ever actually shown Ernest actually deflecting bullets. And that was the very first stream back in September. So
okay, so it's been a while.
So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
So now Ernest can sit here and he deflects the bullets any way he's looking. So if he wanted to, he actually could aim those at Jim.
Let's see if I know to aim.
Yep. Which actually causes them to reset the level.
Uh-huh.
So there's some small griefing you could do if you want to mess with your friends.
Yeah, and also when we were designing these characters, it's actually kind of hard to balance them.
Yep.
Especially their abilities and their like how fun it is. So if I switch to the climbing character, well, it feels that this one is OP because it can climb through every puzzles. But actually, if we design puzzles that he cannot climb, she cannot climb or she cannot climb with like heavy box, she still needs teammates to help her. And also we make sure to balance that every character has at least equal fun to play. So we will not like fighting to get the most like funny, most powerful character.
Yeah.
They are all
So
equally
that's actually a really good point that you just brought up. One way that we are balancing these characters, because like Jim just said, the climber seems really, really strong, right? But one way that we're going to balance them is we're going to give all of our interactable objects in our game a weight value. And if something weighs a certain amount of time, you won't be able to take it with you when you climb. So for example, each character can be limited while still playing exactly.
So you change your value. Yeah, your weight value.
Yeah, so you can try and...
So right now, he can grab him and he can climb with him.
And throw me outside.
Yep, and clip him through the world if he wants. However, if Rewant goes and eats a few things with Rosie, and then Jim playing as Scout tries to pick her up,
I'm hitting
now
the
he can.
button
Yeah.
Right? And so stuff like that battery in the the cargo bay that we saw earlier, that would be something that we'd probably put a weight higher than what Scout can climb with.
Yeah.
So she just can't break the puzzle and say, "Oh, I'm done." Right? She still has to figure out that puzzle. But at the same time, like if we wanted to have ways to get across this gap without that bridge coming down, Scout could climb along the walls, leaving the trail, and then stick boxes to him, and like carry the boxes and place them where she needs them to be able to jump across.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I remove all the boxes here.
Goodbye, Scout.
So this one is a weight puzzle too.
Yep. So this is a weight puzzle that I built just while I was testing things out. And just the idea is you have a platform. Once it reaches enough weight, the elevator comes down, and when you take stuff off, elevator doesn't stay down anymore. So something pretty easy, something pretty simple. Stop crushing Rosie. That's so mean.
She's not crushing. She's too okay.
Now
She
I'm
crushed
crushing the game.
She crushed the game now.
No, it's not me. It's you.
Yeah, it's Rosie crushed the game.
Yep. So yeah, it's like each of these characters we want to make sure is really fun, really unique. Your player.
Okay.
Really fun, really unique, and have just different ways to interact. So let's talk about what's next, right? So in terms of the stream, we're going to have our last stream of our kind of like... Oh, goodbye. I think you have to character select to reset yourself. We're going to have our last stream of kind of this phase of development.
Mm-hmm.
We are officially going to be in our alpha next Friday. So our next stream is going to be next Friday at noon. And it's going to be myself joined by Greg Moss, who's another one of our producers on the team, as well as our sound designer. So all these sounds that you guys have been hearing throughout the game, this has been all stuff that Greg has been putting together. Also, there's some sounds in here, not all of them are implemented yet, but a few of the sounds you guys have been hearing today has actually been voice acted by our very own Caitlin/Kinonai. So like the stuff that you hear from Scout has all been stuff that Caitlin has done voice recording over with, or voice-over recordings with Greg. So next Friday, we're going to be showing you guys what you can expect to see at our open house that I'll talk to you about in just a minute, as well as a more in-depth look about what Greg's been doing on the team.
Wait, keep spinning.
Mm-hmm.
What if I grab you?
While I'm spinning, you just grab me, and you can throw me through the world.
Maybe just grab it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if those of you guys don't know what an alpha is, when we are in alpha, what that means is we are feature complete. That means, more or less, our game has the systems, the mechanics, and everything that is in our game for it to function.
Just not me. through the wall.
So all of our characters, their mechanics will be more or less complete. Obviously, we'll iterate and tweak things if we need to. But essentially, whoop, goodbye, cat. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be content creating. We're going to be getting our new character models in the game, we're going to be animating them, we're going to be getting new levels in the game, we're going to be set dressing those levels, and pretty much we're just going to be pumping out content to be able to make this a complete game. Again, that doesn't mean iteration and ideation stops, right? If, 2 weeks after we launch alpha, if we're like, oh, you know what, maybe Arlo isn't as fun as we want it to be, then, we'll go back to the drawing boards and rework him, right? But in terms of like drastic, giant changes, that's over.
Yeah.
And actually, I think we're in good shape to go into alpha with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
So next Friday at 3:30 Mountain Standard Time, we're going to be having an open house as part of EAE Play at the University of Utah. We've got not only our game that we're going to be showcasing as Cat and Fiddle Games. There's going to be 4 other games that have been being worked on by the same time frame by colleagues of ours. We've got a 3D action skating game. We've got a sci-fi horror game. We've got a base building island game. We've got a 3D action like earthbending geomancy game. As well as a lot of stuff that our younger colleagues have been working on, which is all incredible prototypes they've been doing over the course of the semester. So what we're going to be doing is we have this open house, 3:30 to 6:30, in the University of Utah. It's called EAA Play. That if you're in the area and want to stop by, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, we're going to do our last development stream of this kind of like phase at noon with myself and Greg. And we're just going to be having a good time, hanging out, playing games, and letting you guys see what we're, or let you guys see kind of our progress on the game in person if you want to check it out. I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else you want to chat about while we're?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been a great semester working on this game, and yeah, we're super excited to see how it comes out to be after we start pumping in content and stuff like that and get it to release.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. So we will be live next when we release. We are shooting for March 16th, 2020 is our release date. So we're releasing this by GDC 2020.
Yeah.
So we can show it off there and have people play a game that we've got published. In terms of publishing platforms and where you can get it, that will all be announced relatively soon.
Yeah, we'll announce the details.
So as soon as we have those details, we'll tell you guys where you can get it. So yeah, like I said, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it, and we will see you all next Friday.
Bye-bye.